The remarkable works of Canadian inventor John Hutchison has drawn widespread attention from businessmen and government scientists since 1979, when he began using ultra-high electromagnetic frequencies to transform matter in some very unusual ways. It has come to be known as the Hutchison effect.
The objects you're seeing moving there is a form of levitation by translational movement, meaning that the objects become lighter and can float around. The heaviest being the barium cylinder that you see there, with the two wires coming out of it, tends to slide around on 7 pounds of its own weight. The physics of it is a self-resonation of what they call ferromagnetic and piezoelectric.
Just so y'all understand, that is 7 pounds of metal moving with sound. That ain't a motherfucker. That's not a...
Quick question. So like I see these experiments and it looks like they know how to move this stuff, but do they know how to control the direction? It just looks like, you know, kind of random motion.
Very wire and broad and narrow bands of electrical energy going into this crystal. So the applications of this in advanced applications using free energy or zero-point energy to power it would be in propulsion technologies.
Just so you know, John Hutchison, they took all his stuff. They use his stuff at NASA right now. Most of the stuff that they're using in the government is from John Hutchison. He worked for the government. And then they took all his stuff, and then he left and he started doing this stuff. But this motherfucker was huge. That's why it's called the Hutchison effect. Then now they try to act like he crazy. You know, because of, if you look at him now, all he got is like he goes and buys old NASA equipment and shit like that and tries to perform these crazy experiments. So you go look at his house looks like a junkyard. But they did a real good breakdown of him on Jesse Ventura. Like if you go look at the Jesse Ventura, I think that's the one called the Death Ray, and which is where we're going to get into also. The Death Ray is what is the whole system of satellites in Alaska called HARP. So that shoots out 1 billion watt beam of sound. Like so it pretty much can do anything. So that's what we're kind of leading into. But they got all that shit from him.
This is a crystal converter unit that I made about a year ago to see if the principle worked, and indeed it seems to work to this day. The principles involve the Casimir effect and space charge type of barrier technology in semiconductors, and a jitter activity called zero-point energy that goes through time and space. The idea is to get the material inside this to interface with the jittering action of zero-point energy. And moving on to what they may look like inside, I actually bring out a piece here of this material.
You guys understand what zero-point energy is?
It seems like the whole, basically what you would describe in Star Wars as the Force. Damn near like the whole.
No.
Isn't that when gravity drops out?
Yes. Bam, right on the money.
Of common minerals and that, produced in a special way, and I take a reading here.
What you're basically doing is creating it, whatever object it is creating its own electromagnetic field, therefore canceling out the electro field around it. Therefore, when we're all canceling each other out, then there's zero. That's why it's called zero. Like, you know, if Kobe goes against Jordan, they're pretty much the same. They cancel each other out. So then you got to say, well, what are the other factors behind it? Because neither one of those is an advantage. So boom, colliding, we destroy each other. 0 point.
So, Kev, quick question.
Yep.
If if they know that this technology exists or they had some type of mastery over it 30, 40 years ago, like where are they at right now with this?
They tried 70, 80 years ago.
Okay, so where are they at right now with this? Like they obviously have.
We about to get into it. That's where the heart comes in.
Correct. I mean, but even that's got to be old technology at this point to them.
Right. That's where DARPA comes in. So you got to go look at the Jesse Ventura one where he talks about time travel. So Jesse Ventura is off the air for a reason.
Oh yeah, that show was off the chain.
That motherfucker, he was coming out with everything. Like he told them, dude, y'all need to go check out the one about the Ozarks. That's what they got a whole city under a city in the Ozarks. That's why they did that TV show, The Ozarks, on Netflix, which is off the chain. But man, go if you can find the Jesse Ventura show, watch all them motherfuckers, all 3 seasons. He killed the game. He's like, look, nigga, we cannot let the like. I don't even think you can find them. Like they're not on YouTube. You cannot find them damn shows. You can't find them on DVD. That's just hilarious. But yeah, so we're getting into that. So all this technology leads to stuff like that, the death ray, what they do in DARPA. So everything. So DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research, whatever. So that's where you get all these, laser beams and sound weapons and all that stuff. That's what they deal with. Time travel, all that.
I should be getting a higher reading. I had a hot spot somewhere on here. I have here almost a half a volt, as you can see. You can see there's no batteries in this.
So just so you know how they always say that America trillions of dollars from the budget. Have you guys ever heard that in the news recently? There's like some trillions of dollars that America that just went missing. And that's where it is. That's where it is right there in DARPA and all these little subversive black ops and shit like that that can't go in the books. That's how that shit gets funded. So that's why they look the other way. Like, oh yeah, we're missing. Nigga, how you just gonna be missing $2 trillion and then be like, okay, nigga, there's no way. You're like, oh yeah, we're missing $2 trillion. Yeah, that's all good though. Yeah, no, that's because that's funding DARPA on the low and all the crazy shit they got going on, the bases they got on the moon and Mars and all that shit. So here we go.
Anything else except just crystalline material with different configurations. And side to that, of course, there's our not as tiny one here. Actually, this has more power than this large artillery shell. Demonstrated in the sense of it making actual power. That means to turn on a small motor. Okay, I'm attaching this to the base here. Another lead to the top, and it should spin, which it does. So yeah, basically, this kind of material powering motors. Of course, it's a very small motor at this time, but scaled up in larger amounts of material to power up to several horsepower if needed.
So he created that out of like these certain metals and shit like that, and it has no power running through it, but it does. Whatever frequency it has, it can power shit. It's just like bam.
Non-toxic that will interface with zero-point energy in space and time.
Hutchison's more dramatic experiments border on the paranormal and have generated more than just a passing interest from U.S. military research labs.
We've had about 750 demonstrations of levitation, translational movements, metallurgical samples falling apart.
So right there, this is a piece of metal, right, that we know. They sent vibration through it, and it crumbled into this. It made this. Whatever frequency they hit it with, it fell off and it made this. And this is not a known material on Earth. They don't know what it is. It literally created a new material.
So it didn't just change shape, it actually...
It changed it changed shape. Well, it changed shape because it made it a powder. So it's not even metal anymore. So this is it's like a steel bar. They send some vibration to it and it crumbles off into a powder right here, and they don't even know what that powder is. It's not a known substance or metal or chemical on Earth. They completely change the frequency, the vibration of it, the atoms and molecules of that.
Changing into transmuted unknown metals.
They ripped this metal apart with sound. Look how it twisted. That shit broke and twisted apart with sound.
Quite a variety of obscure types of effects, wood impregnated into metals, other objects in metals.
Look at this shit. This was when they did the experiment. This was just a butter knife sitting on top of a piece of metal in the chamber. They didn't expect it to do nothing. This shit infused into the metal.
Well, damn.
It literally embedded itself, infused itself into whatever that metal was. Became a part of it.
Monopole magnetic fields written up in many journals. Quite a host or a Pandora's box of different types of effects on the outer edge of the scientific community.
In this remarkable series of video clips shot by Hutchison, we see what happens when he fine-tunes the electromagnetic frequencies aimed at target objects in his garage.
First of all, that's like an inch thick metal pipe, steel pipe, waving like a snake, like a stripper on stage.
Hey, Kev, are these even sounds that we could hear, or is it like dog whistle sounds beyond our?
Exactly, it sounds way above what you can hear as a human.
Yeah.
On the subatomic level, I feel that there is a dimension shift activated by very conventional electrostatic RF fields that I use and Tesla waves that I use that actually form a key wave that opens up another area of time and space that may activate the zero-point energy fields and interdimensional reactions, let's say, to gravitational waves and time waves, or chronons, if you wish. Perhaps we're dealing in chronons and gravitons, which are maybe particles, and somehow causing a distortion, which causes objects to simply break apart or pulsate in the center of stainless steel bars and fall apart.
Now, he's not right in his assessment of what's happening. All that's happening is you're literally changing the frequency of whatever it is, so it changes the structure as we've seen. Whatever sound creates form.
Or it could become weightless.
Look at that. Oop.
Here, ice cream in a plastic cup.
Look at this shit.
Wow.
That's great.
Finally, a 70-pound cannonball.
Look at that. Look at the ball, 70 pounds of metal. That's a cannonball, that's iron.
like it's spinning too.
It was spinning and levitating.
What was interesting and also frustrating about his invention is that he's using a combination of Tesla coil and Van de Graaff to produce very disruptive and lifting experiments, which in one case, for example, actually lifts a 19-pound bushing toward the ceiling just from electromagnetic fields. Now, when we analyze that, we find that there's position versus time graph that we can plot, and also the velocity versus time. And when we actually analyze the acceleration versus time, it's
See, now this is their bullshit. John Hutchinson doesn't even deal with math. He says, I hate math. He says, I just get a feel and I just do this, and this is what it came out to. He's just connected. And this is what he gets. He's like, man, you try to ask me to break it down mathematically. He said, you lost me. He hates it. So these are these other people who don't understand the connection of frequency and sound, and they're, well, if you linearly, you do the graph, and they always got to do this. And Hutchinson just went in his garage and turned on some speakers and and started levitating shit. Man, so
Well, they need the math so they can reproduce it. That's what they're trying to do.
they have to reproduce it.
No, they don't need to reproduce it.
They want to try and understand it. But if they were connected to the universe, they would understand. They want to know, how is it done? But see, that they have to know how it's done because they're so far away from the center of life and soul. They're that disconnected. Oh my God, how is this done? Oh, they think it's something outside of them. It's something to be conquered and and broken down. Like, dude, this is you.